Welcome back into the channel, No Shoes Nation. It's been far too long, but a trip to Nashville and then getting sick immediately afterwards will do that to you. So in today's video, we are going to review the rest of April. We had the first two shows in the books from a previous video, so we're now going to do everything from April 12th to April 29th. That's Birmingham, Alabama to Greensboro, North Carolina, and in between. So we're going to get into that. Some key moments here. We had Kenny's mom on stage recently. Little Big Town joined for a song. We'll talk about what that was. Cat Higgins was out here as well, and some new songs added to the playlist. We're going to talk about all of that. I want to remind everybody to subscribe if you have not yet, and hit that like if you're enjoying Kenny's concert. If you have been to a show so far this year, make sure to hit that like and comment below and let me know what your experience was, how much fun you had seeing Kenny on stage. So let's get into it without further ado, because we have a bunch of shows to get to. First up was April 12th. Again, we went Birmingham, Jacksonville, Tortuga, had to battle some of the elements there, North Little Rock, Lexington, Greensville, and Greensboro, as Kenny is checking off the color green from his schedule the last couple of times out. So let's get into it. April 12th, Birmingham, Alabama. That was the moment when you had Little Big Town join Kenny Chesney for Take It Easy. Now, we have been rating the set list. We do have a clip of Take It Easy. We'll play that in just a moment. First, let me show you the set list. The only change here was song number 20, Take It Easy with Little Big Town. They came on right after the songs Wild Child and Half of My Hometown with Kelsey Ballerini. We had Take It Easy, an Eagles cover with Little Big Town, and then they were off and gone. We did not see them again, but we love when we have these moments where we see a special appearance, and it's a big one too, Little Big Town. This is a big one. So this is going to be, listen, in the month of April, we have probably had, if I'm strongly considering a top 10 moments video from this 2023 tour. I think we had 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of them in this stretch of shows. So this was a big one for him. So again, we had the Birmingham, Alabama. This is, I know it says on the video, it says Little Rock. It should not say that. It should say Birmingham, Alabama. Trust me, it is the Birmingham, Alabama show. We will get to Little Rock in just a moment. So this set list, because you bring in Little Big Town, you're adding in a cover like Take It Easy. This is going to be right up there with one of our highest ranking ratings of a set list. I'm thinking like 9.2, 9.3 for something like this with a moment like this. It's pretty good. It's tough to top that with Little Big Town coming out. Here is a clip from It's the Best on YouTube. Some of that moment with Little Big Town out on stage with Kenny. Now, they only had the spot for Kenny there. You could see, I thought that was kind of funny. How often did Little Big Town go out there and there's a spot and it's not on them? But they don't have enough spotlights for 5 people. So we had that moment captured there again by It's the Best on YouTube. Good job there capturing that. There was not a whole lot of that captured much as well. So let's keep moving on. Now we've got April 14th, Jacksonville, Florida. We saw on the set list Old Blue Chair and Boys of Fall. Now, interesting here, if you go on to setlist.com or dot, whatever the dot is, you're going to find a set list that I don't think is right, because on this Jacksonville.com website and on Kenny Chesney's on his Twitter account, a post that he made, songs that were played were not referenced on that set list, which is interesting. Here is the snippet, the article from the Florida Times Union, Jacksonville.com. Chesney ran through 28 songs during a Packed to the Rafters show at Daly's Place on Friday, but his set list was notable for what wasn't on it. She Thinks by Tractor Sexy, which we have not heard that this year. Had been a staple, usually as an encore, but when he and his band walked off stage at the end of the show, it had not been played. Not that anyone complained. Chesney instead dug into his songbook to bring back some old favorites the fans hadn't heard in years. The Good Stuff, which we have seen many times this year. Old Blue Chair, which I do believe this was the first time. Guitars and Tiki Bars, which he has been playing that one. And he even played a special request, Boys of Fall. This is the first time Boys of Fall had been played on the tour by Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson. So another interesting moment here with this April 14th show where we saw Old Blue Chair and we saw Boys of Fall for the first time. Again, a request from Jags coach Doug Peterson. So kind of a cool moment. Here's a picture from Kenny Chesney's Twitter account. Did Old Blue Chair last night in Jacksonville, Florida for the first time in a while. Thanks for letting us play that one. Jacksonville, you were an amazing audience last night. So that was Jacksonville. And then 2 days later, Tortuga came through. And Tortuga was fascinating with, you think about some of the No Shoes Nation alum that were a part of this and always seemed to be. Eric Church, one of the headliners. Jake Owen was there as well. I always feel like Cole Swindell should have gone out with Kenny Chesney by now, but that hasn't happened. Maybe it will one day. But you had a great lineup. Kenny closing the event, the festival down with his performance on April 16th. He posted here on Twitter, "Thank you, Fort Lauderdale Land Festival Tortuga, for another fun night by the ocean. Our 4th time playing the festival, and even the weather couldn't stop the party. Special thanks to Ashley Cook for coming up when the sun goes down. We had a blast." The weather was a situation, was something that they were dealing with the Tortuga Music Festival, but fans that went to Kenny's show and Kenny there still having a great time despite some of the weather issues. So we had that. Now there really was, the set list is hard to find. If you can find it, comment below and add it in. I have seen a few spots, but I'm not comfortable enough sharing them as the definitive set list. It's not on the set list website, setlist.com. It's really, it's kind of missing out there. Maybe you can find it. Maybe you feel confident with it. But because I wasn't at the show and where I've seen a set list posted, it just didn't look legitimate enough to bring it to our video today. We do have this clip here from Mitch Graham capturing, I believe this is All the Pretty Girls from Tortuga. If you have been to Tortuga to see Kenny Chesney, you know what that atmosphere is like. It is amazing. I have been before, and it's one of my favorite Chesney shows, even though he can't go as long and maybe have as much freedom and he doesn't have his guests, but specifically the Kenny part. I just love being there on the beach, being by the water. You've got the skyline, the Fort Lauderdale skyline sort of over there. It's a really great atmosphere. If you have not been, I would highly recommend it. Next time he plays there, those of you that have been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's a great show. So we had Tortuga, and again, that is from Mitch Graham on YouTube. Then on April 22nd, he went to Little Rock and ran out a playlist that we are pretty familiar with, went back to what we had seen for much, or at least most recently, we had seen where he brings Kelsey Ballerini out for 3 songs, Wild Child, Half of My Hometown, and most recently, the UN Tequila cover from Deanna Carter. So you've got a good set list here. We've rated this set list before, comes in right around a 9.1 because we've got Kelsey Ballerini for 3 songs this time. I still think the encore, I still think there's a possibility. Maybe they're saving that for the final show. Next up, we have a clip from Aaron Aki on YouTube with some of the open from the Little Rock show. He captured about 20 minutes from that show. So if you want to go and watch more, you can go and hop over to his channel. Again, that's Aaron AKE. Next, we go to Lexington on April 25th. A good shot here from Simmer Down ATL on Twitter of Rupp Arena with Kenny Chesney. Place is packed to the rafters there. posting on Twitter, Kenny Chesney, last night my band and I were reminded how Rupp Arena in Lexington feels. 12 years was too long an absence. Thank you, Lexington, for one great night on the I Go Back tour. Thanks, Kelsey Ballerini for the tacos on the plane. 12 years, and you see how packed that place was. That's gotta be, if you were there, comment and let me know. That had to be a great environment. That had to be loud. That had to be raucous. That was probably pretty special. The set list here. Now, the change, for the most part, you're going to see, Kelsey Ballerini for 3 songs again. You got the same open. You got the same encore. But in the middle there, for the first time on tour, we had Knowing You. And I believe he was doing this to build up to something, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you saw, for the first time, he rolled Knowing You into the playlist. Now, here is a clip from Jennifer Mattingly. I believe this is Knowing You in Lexington.
Knowing you got something cold in your hand, shouting up a stranger out of care.
That's a good song. I wish I could play more for you guys, but copyright and all that stuff. So we have Knowing You. And again, I'm telling you, he was building up for something. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Next up, April 27th, we're getting to some of the more recent shows. Greensville, South Carolina. You're wondering, who's that in the middle? That's Karen Chandler. And why is she important? She's important because she's Kenny Chesney's mother. Brought out on stage for the performance of Half of My Hometown with Kelsey Ballerini on Instagram. Official NSR posted this, and here's what I clipped.
So stay, part of me will always be half of my hometown.
Pretty cool. He brings his mom out again. This is another one of those top 5 moments of the tour. The crowd responded as you would expect the crowd to. They were excited about this moment. This is a top 5 moment. Listen, I said top 10 at the beginning of the video. We may have 3 of the top 5 moments of the tour in this handful of shows. It's a great little run here, sort of in April. These shows that he's been cranking out, and these moments that he's been giving us. So his mother comes out to join him. It's a great moment for Half of My Hometown. The Greensville, South Carolina playlist. We see Knowing You back at that spot, sort of right sandwiched in the middle at the number 15 spot. So there's 2 shows in a row now with Knowing You. You've got the 3 songs with Kelsey Ballerini there. You've got Wild Child, Half My Hometown, and You and Tequila. And again, Kenny's mom coming out for Half of My Hometown. So everything sort of played out to script the way you expect, the beginning, the encore, everything. Then we get to his most recent show, Greensboro, North Carolina. Here's a great shot of the venue from JJ O'Toole on Twitter. I found this via a retweet from Welcome to the Sandbar. Shout out to Welcome to the Sandbar. Probably the spot for Kenny Chesney fans. I'm just trying to get to a little bit of what they've gotten to here on YouTube. So definitely, I'm sure you all already know about Welcome to the Sandbar. Make sure to check them out if you haven't. Great presence, website, Twitter. They've got everything going. So really good shot here again from JJ of this Greensboro crowd. We also had some good shots from Kenny Chesney on Twitter. Greensboro, North Carolina. Thank you for your energy last night. It's always a beautiful thing to share the stage with the wonderful Kathy Higgins. Your version of Knowing You was simply stunning, and it was always Harmony's, and it was also Harmony Kelly's birthday. Happy birthday to Harmony Kelly. That is our 2nd birthday that we have celebrated on tour this tour season. Now, why do I keep saying that the whole Knowing You thing? He's did it 2 times in a row, did it for a 3rd time tonight, because Kathy Higgins is one of the writers for Knowing You, and she went on her Instagram and posted a snippet of the audio. Here's the little bit that I grabbed. She does a great job. Her version of that is really great. Just like Kenny said, it's just a wonderful song. I'm not sure if we have it. It would be great if we had a recorded version of that on, Spotify or Apple Music. I don't know if we do. Last I checked, we don't, but maybe that has changed. So you've got her out here performing her song, which is really cool. And we take a look at the rest of the set list. We had a happy birthday song to Harmony, When the Sun Goes Down. We had the Knowing You with Kat Higgins. So this one we can give another rating to because it's a different set list than we have seen. And listen, nothing's coming in below a 9.0 at this point. You got the moment with Harmony Kelly. You have Kat Higgins out there to perform her song. You've got the two Kelsey Ballerini songs. Having Kat Higgins come out and do that song and everything. We did appear to lose the third Kelsey Ballerini song, but that's okay. This is still a 9.0, 9.1, maybe even a 9.2 set list when we take a look at it. Comment below and let me know what you think about any of these shows. If you were at those shows, again, would love for you to comment below and let me know and the rest of the community know what your experience was. Now, next up, we have a couple of interesting shows coming up. Moline, Illinois on May 4th. You are the next show up, and we will be reviewing and recapping that once it is done. And after that, May 6th, Grand Rapids, Michigan, you are up. Those are the next two shows in Kenny Chesney shows. If you're going to be there, why don't you, if you want to comment below, let me know after the fact and keep an eye out for the recap. If you post on Twitter or YouTube, I may find your posting and add it into the video next week. Again, thank you guys for coming in. I do appreciate for the delay with the vacation, with the little bout with the cold there. Really slowed things down, but we're back on track now. So back to regular videos at least once a week. So thank you guys for your patience with that. Thank you guys, as always, for coming in. No Shoes Nation. This tour is running strong right now. We got a lot of exciting moments, and I can't wait to see what we get from these next two shows. Thank you for watching this one, everybody. Be sure to hit the like on the way out and subscribe if you have not yet. Again, thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.